Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich. That's a long Guangdong-Guangxi. Let's continue on from where we last left off. So, I mean, political power is still the toilet, but that's okay. We're slowly fixing the country. We've already got, well, we don't have our first military reform yet, but it's on the way. Done in about 2 months. Still need the next, I think, 4 more after that? Or is it 3 more? You just need to fill up all the stars. Either you need all 4 stars, or you need all 4 stars, and then there's the final step. I don't actually remember which one it is. Either way, we're doing an okay job. We only have 11 divisions, which is not a ton. You know, I don't think anybody would claim otherwise. But there are worse positions to be. Yeah, I mean, you know, Hunan over here. I mean, okay, they might have more units. You might have more. Might have more. You might have more. You might actually have more. But Mongolia certainly has less. So we have that going for us. Every other country, I mean, potentially has more, but chances are they definitely don't. Okay, we want to go for the Republican United Front, because we do want to go for the Federalist China route. Got in here. You are supply hub. I don't know if we'll ever actually use that. The thing is, like, the fact that you can only ever use that event one singular time, or the decision one singular time, always to me seems really limiting. Like, when would you really ever use it? I mean, 300% bonus is nice, because again, these are, you know, they're 20,000 construction cost, which is very expensive. But you'd have to use them prior to whatever the major conflict, whatever country you're playing as. Actually, it's Lugan Clique. I don't even know who it would really be. I guess maybe a war against the defending government. Like, I honestly don't know who else you'd really war with. Japan right now, they're still shows a conservative. The ideology of Japan, I'm pretty sure, does not matter. I think the Japanese content just in general is pretty old. In terms of, for our predicament, no matter what, Japan is going to be aggressive in China eventually. Probably will attack, you know, East Asia, Germany, East Asia, probably attack the Philippines. But eventually, Japanese will set their sights on mainland China, which I would prefer they don't do. But it's going to happen inevitably, especially because, again, the defending government, once they're on the losing end of a war, Japan will intervene. I don't know if it's guaranteed that they intervene, but it's like a 99% chance. Oh, look at that, we can save an extra unit. We're going to sight into this front. Welcome, welcome. We now have 12 divisions, which is like a 9% boost in our military power. Fantastic. And I actually think that guy's a little bit tougher than the other ones as well, because I think it's 18 combat width, while the rest are, I think, a mixture between 12 and like 8 combat width. Republic front's almost done. You are replacing the station with the land of the tiller, which kind of just seems bad, but we kind of need to get it. I mean, I guess it's a consumer goods factory bonus, even though we do lose some stability here. Right now, they're under what? Decentralization. Okay. So it's actually not that good. But again, we need to do it anyways, just so we can get our way down to, there's some more stability, a little bit more construction speed, and eventually get our way down to, extra bonus here, which actually requires us to also go down the Guangdong Star reforms the wall. There's a lot of stuff we need to get done. And then you are dynamic current leader. Guangdong defeated Guangxi, which I don't know if the civil war is guaranteed to happen. We might be able to resolve the differences in the country peacefully, but we'll see about that. So this guy's a thing to Yunnan, Sichuan, my clique, Xinjiang, and legation cities. I mean, if we can get theoretically everybody to join our United Province of China faction, that would be nice. Okay, deploy another unit to the front line, absolutely fantastic. Stability, or not stability, political power is still absolutely in the toilet, but that's okay. This actually is going to make it worse because we're going to be getting a 0.1 political power debuff. When does this happen? Do we know? I don't actually know. A famine in the north. The news of a famine in the province of Sichuan have already reached Guangzhou. Before them, the official delegation from the troubled province arrived today. After speaking with Governor General Zheng Xiaoming, they pleaded before the Provincial Assembly for support. Their moving words show desperation, coupled with disturbing photographic evidence, made it feel far more real to the assemblymen than the newspaper headline could ever convey. Disorganized and emotional discussions were quickly cut short by the assembly president, bringing back order. An elected legislation ought to act like one. The matter will be thoroughly discussed before a vote will be held. At the very least, it's clear the people of Guangdong understand the gravity of the situation of the countrymen further north. Sichuan currently is in the middle of, their major famine. Emotion run high during the debate. Skeptics were quick to criticize the Sichuan provincial government that allowed the situation to worsen so much and the intense factional disputes there. There were divided opinions on the matter even among the organized political parties in the assembly. While few could argue about the morality of sending aid, it was clear that Sichuan was not only suffering from famine, but from endless corruption, which would could very well make any relief effort a complete waste. I wonder what we can actually do. Like, maybe we can put a little bit of political pressure on them? Chen Lingbao pressures the assembly. Chen Lingbao of the Guangdong Chamber of Commerce, head of the Merchant Corps, spoke to the provincial assembly about the Sichuan famine. The wealthy Cantonese businessman, fond of philanthropy, was highly critical of the skepticism by many assemblymen. It made it very clear that if the public assembly wouldn't act, he certainly would, and would publicly announce every single member of the provincial assembly that voted against relief. The merchant is clearly influential among the higher strata of the Cantonese society. His pressure could certainly affect the assembly's final vote on the matter. I don't even know what we can do about the Sichuan famine. I'm assuming that if we vote yes, Sichuan's more likely to join our faction in the future. So I will probably pass the don't interfere, or we can interfere. It seems the provincial assembly is far less united on relief fund than Sichuan had hoped. After all, it's clear that any relief to the province may never reach starving people, and that it would be yet another expensive provincial government's fragile bust. Yet, Chen Jiaming believed that despite the cost, not only was it the right thing to do, that it would put Guangdong in a good light and help the province's reputation through all of China. Of course, Chen also deeply believes in democracy. He must act within the law. While they could add further pressure to the provincial assembly, his intervention could backfire and open himself to public criticism or set a dangerous precedent for future governors. I'm gonna do a little bit of safe scumming here. I'm not gonna interfere with due process. Unless they vote no, in which case I will immediately intervene. Answer the tiller. What are you? You are bonus industry tech. Political power gain plus 10%. Civilian factories. You know, we probably would. What am I going for? A little bit of industry here. They voted no. Well, when you put it that way, I guess we're going to have to put our finger on the, You know what? No, we'll leave it. After several discussions, the Guangdong Provincial Assembly finally voted on the family for Sichuan. The motion failed to pass when it failed to gather the majority of the vote. This will certainly affect the province's reputation of China and opens up strong criticism against democratization. Sichuan's not very happy with us. But you know, Chen Jiaming, I'm sure he voted. Actually, he's the governor. I don't know if he has a seat on the. He has a seat on the council, or not the council, in parliament. But I'm sure he would vote. He would provide relief, so I'm sure we're not going to get criticized too much. Well, hopefully we don't get criticized too much. I'm gonna cross my fingers on that one. Chinese high tea. The concept of dim sum originated in the Guangdong province as a popular form of breakfast or lunch. Dim sum refers to small dishes that lightly touch your heart without filling your stomach, while yumcha is the practice of drinking tea. Thriving in China during the Song Dynasty, the practice of dim sum was incorporated influence of not just China, but also around the world. Up until the 1920s, however, the practice of yumcha, consuming dim sum, was only a privilege allocated to the elite and wealthy. Customers to high-end pavilions would inspect tea leaves to verify their temperature and quality, to dine in privacy and comfort. However, nowadays, the practice of dim sum is extended to people with average incomes, students, and government employees. Indeed, Guangdong's tea house culture has led to the creation of chefs with celebrity-like status and thus heavy competition between tea houses. New varieties of dim sum are being invented almost daily, influenced heavily by the tea pastry dishes of Shanghai, Beijing, and the West. However, as the situation in China continues to become unstable and more frequent, more and more chefs are taking their culinary expertise to nearby Hong Kong. Nonetheless, the ancient practice of dim sum will undoubtedly continue to carry on, a true form of cultural pride and significance for the Cantonese people. Dim sum's pretty good. I actually had dim sum 2 days ago. Well, 2 days ago as the time of recording. Not 2 days ago as time of this being uploaded. Which will be uploaded, I think, in like 2 days from now. So 4 days ago, what time are you watching this? If most sports industry tech, I mean, that's always nice. Like, I'm not going to say no to that. Do any of you Mountaineering Technologies kind of ass Recon Company 1? You know, actually getting a free tech is always nice. You're garbage. Honestly, might be one of the worst national focuses I've ever seen in my entire life. On contracts. Actually, one of you is also a doctrine bonus. Aviation. So the aviation tree is completely independent. You require all 6 of these. Are you any good? Attack and defense. While not having attack and defense on core territory. That's actually interesting. So it's attack and defense everywhere. Right now, do we have improved logistics? We don't, but I'm assuming that would get... Yeah, so it's changing it from attack and defense just on core territory to attack and defense everywhere, which is a nice bonus. Question, do we actually have we don't have claims everywhere, but I'm assuming that's because I'm not claiming to be the federal government quite yet. Anyway, Liu Rongting has died. Military governor of Guangxi and head of the clique since the Shanghai Revolution in 1911. Liu Rongting peacefully passed away at the age of 77. Leaving his adopted son, Liu Yongguang and Ma Qi, as civilian and military governors of the province. Governor Liu has been a living symbol of the revolution, the Republican movement, and the warlord era in general. Despite his early rivalry with Chen Jiaoming over the control of Guangdong, the two began cooperating closely after the Qing Restoration, ensuring the Republican and anti-Qing ideals would survive. While his rule was disputed by Li Zongren in exile in Yunnan, Li kept Guangxi relatively stable and maintained its regional identity. With Ma Qi securing control over Guangxi clique, cooperation between the two cliques in Liaodong appeared tenuous as the ambitious new warlord plots to increase his power in southern China. We no longer are getting our guys presenting a passive 0.1. We now have a 0.8, which is not terrible. Power legislator right now is 8%. Empowered executive and empowered trade unions. I mean, power executive's not bad. I mean, war sport stability is always nice. Little power game plus 8% is meh. Trade unions could also be pretty good. But Li Zongren has invaded. Base, a city which controls the mountain pass containing Guangxi with Yunnan and Vietnam, was attacked by Li Zongren, a right-wing general of the KMT. Quickly overwhelming local offensive. Our scouts report that the warlord has split his forces, part of the preparing to go down to Pearl River to attack Nanning, another headed towards Wuzhou to cut off the Guangxi forces. Li, taking advantage of Liu Rongteng's recent passing, clearly hopes to dislodge the current Guangxi clique, taking the province for himself once and for all in the name of the Kuomintang. Ma Ji wants to attack Li at Bus before he has a chance to consolidate and move to Nanning, while Liu Yingtang wants to move north and keep Nanning from getting encircled. However, Lin Hu, one of our officers, suggests we instead fortify Nanning, claiming that our Guangdong ally won't allow Wuzhou to fall and that Li should be forced to dislodge them. I actually don't know. Take the fight to Li. Zhao's over here. You know what? Let them come to us. I'm actually going to immediately deploy my army. Let's just say by this river for now. Oh, so it looks like the League of Southeast Provinces have won their war. They might end up aligning themselves with the Japanese, which is not great news for us. Wuzhou falls. Li Zongren approaches us. News has reached Nanning that Wuzhou fell to a small task force under one of Li Zong's subordinates. While Li himself is marching down towards Nanning, while Ling Yugong and others are critical of our inaction as we are nervous about being cut off from Guangdong. Ma Ji believes that their opportunity to attack is long gone, and we must further fortify the city. He believes that Li has no choice but to attack as soon as possible, while it's recent intervention by Guangdong. While Li counters that Guangdong not act unless the road to Nanning is open. Let's send a small force in. Get our units in position just on the off chance that maybe there'll be a war. And by maybe, I'm almost certain that there will be a war. Are we deploying more units? We are. Deploy them immediately. Do we have more guns? The answer is not really, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to deploy any more units. Okay. Only has a small force to retake Nanning Field against the entrenched enemy. Nanning has fallen to Li Zongren's relentless assault on the city. The new clique's victory is costly, however, with significant damage to the city, despite low number of defections to his forces. Li Zongren secured Guangxi for the rightist KMT. Okay, well, not great, I will say. We could have gone better. Do financial reform next. What is your plan? I'm gonna do a save here so that I don't actually know what this event's gonna lead to. Hopefully nothing too bad, but we'll see. Up until now, the Productive People's Party, led by Chen Mishu. Productive People's Party is... I actually don't know. Led by Chen Mingshu and represented by minority members of the Kuomintang and Linguang, has been collaborating with Chen Xiaoming's Big Tent Republican Coalition. The Nationalists were happy to help develop and participate in democratic institutions, or protect their interests and legacy after the failed Northern Expedition. This was the long-term goal of peacefully implementing Miquan, Sun Yat's principle of popular government. Besides, Shen's Federalists protected them from Zili and Qing retribution. Li Zongren secured Guangxi has completely changed the situation. But Mingshu hardly trusted rightist warlord, despite both being members of the KMT. One opportunity presents itself. If you get rid of Chen Xiaoming, Linguang will be secured for the Nationalist Party without bloodshed. Remains hesitant to betray him, however, after over a decade of protection and cooperation. Still, the Party Center Committee has hatched a plan. Seize key buildings in Guangdong and force Chen Xiaoming, who has strong misgiving about fighting in the city, to surrender. He is but an untrustworthy bandit. An untrustworthy bandit. I think that's the option we want to go for. We cannot trust him. Chen Xiaoming. The monarchy has fallen as the two provinces that were unable to settle their differences diplomatically. The new warlord of Guangxi is unwilling to recognize Guangdong's supremacy over Linguang. His ambitions cannot coexist with the ideals of his eastern counterpart. Both cliques have now taken up arms. Linguang's future is thus settled on the battlefield. Of course, Chen Xiaoming will prevail. We did lose some of our units, but actually not too many. So I'm okay with that. Bring our forces straight to the front line. How many units do you guys have? I have no idea. Okay, strategically redeploy, get there as quickly as you possibly can. We'll be getting... Okay. What do we have here? Second Guangdong-Guangxi War. Create unit, create 3 units. We'll have some really bad penalties if you don't win the war in more than 180 days. You also have cost ability against... You have cost ability against yourself? Pretty impressive, actually. We're gonna hold a position, let's just say right here for now. Pull you back. These units in. Move you in as well. Bring in the assault, go into Wuzhou. So we just need to make sure that you are more than 40%, which means that you need to be at less than 60% control here. Again, I want you to pull back. Come in here for the support. If anything, if the Guangxi military government wants to move their way into Hainan, I would be completely okay with that. I don't know how many troops they have, though. One province here, 54%. Wuzhou's worth 1. You're worth 5, and you're worth 10. I don't know how many units they have. I'm gonna have you just move your way straight to Nanning, just in case. Done 1 city controlled from you. 4 units have now arrived. Hold your position where you're at. Also hold your position. You need political power, which I just don't have. Find a little bit of support for these bits in the back. And we probably want to take Guilin. Do you have any other cities? No. Not as far as I can tell. 94, 95. You guys, you might have to get pushed back one more province. But we are pushing a little bit into the country, which is nice. Guangzhou, we want to make sure we can actually control. Move you up north. They do have more units than we do. There's no denying that. 7 here. Move your way to Wellen. If we get this accomplished, we will get a lot of bonuses against the Guangxi military government, which I think, honestly, just taking the city should complete this objective, which will then give us victory imminent, division speed, war support, attack and defense bonuses against the country. Actually, all those are quite nice. Which actually also gives political power. Let's go. Raise rural militia. Immediately deploy these guys into the army. Deploy as quickly as you possibly can. Thank you. Oh, so this line does not exist. Okay? You go here. If I want to pull you against the river, the answer is no, I think. I want to keep you where you're at. Move you up and around. Where units are coming in here. Move you down south. You might honestly not have enough units to stop me. Yeah, no, I don't think they have any more troops. Nope, they have, okay, they have one more unit. But I'm not too worried about that. I'm going to pull you back one province. If you guys fight around like this. These 3 units are kind of okay with where they're at. I'm not too worried about that. Move you down like this. Stay where you're at. Don't turn on 9-day mode, please. You're at 18% right now. Well, if you're at 18%, one, we can move into Nanning from the south. I think, like, what we can, like, are you supporting? I think you're just supporting. And are not attacking. I think they also have down here. If I pull you back... No, you're definitely not moving. 76. You might just get there in time. 2 days, 1 province. This absolute buffoon. Absolute idiot. With 2 civilian factories actually would be quite nice, I think. Okay, Nanning has fallen, and with that, Chen Xiaoming has secured Langguang. Despite internal opposition and revolt of the Guangxi clique, Chen Xiaoming has remained at the head of Langguang. With his rule and popularity more secure than ever, he will have the ability to push further towards his ideals should the situation in the rest of the region allow it. A federal and truly democratic China. Under political power, we get a new party, socialists join the coalition, and the reintegration of the rebel army. For the most part, the soldiers and even generals of the warlord or provincial armies tend to have more concern about defending their homes from invaders and bandits rather than matters of national importance. As such, we can reintegrate the rebel army with relative ease once their treacherous leaders are dealt with. After that, they are fellow Chinese, even if they are previously served the wrong master. They can still redeem themselves and return to their homes. Well, first things first, I'm gonna get a free unit, thank you. And then I'm going to get ourselves a free military high command. Never mind, you're both garbage. Okay, and then we get some free units. Excellent! We now have a bigger army than we did before. I am happy with that, and I'm going to deploy these guys on the border with these guys that are pro-Japan. And now we should be able to do the Third Shantou Conference. But I think, with the Civil War over with, I think it's going to be a good time for us to end this episode for today. So thank you for watching, If you enjoyed, thumbs up. Not enjoy, thumbs down. Also, subscribe, and goodbye.